In just a matter of hours, Britain's Prince Harry will be here in the capital. His visit is part of Queen Elizabeth's Diamond Jubilee celebrations. He and other members of the royal family are visiting Commonwealth countries as part of the observance. Prince Harry's stops will include Belize, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. Jerome Sawyer has more on the royal welcome.
Prince Harry is visiting Belize, the Bahamas and Jamaica as a part of Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee tour, with his first stop in Belize Friday. He arrives in the Bahamas Saturday evening. He is one of several members of Britain's royal family who will represent his grandmother, who turns 85 this year. In June, Her Majesty will celebrate 60 years as Queen. There are celebrations throughout the UK and the Commonwealth this year to mark the occasion. This is the first visit to the Bahamas by the second son of the heir to the British throne, Prince Charles, and the late Princess Diana. His Royal Highness is expected to open the Queen's Jubilee exhibition in Rossett and Parliament Squares on Bay Street on Sunday at 1:30 p.m, after attending an ecumenical mass at Christ Church Cathedral at 11 that morning. On Monday, March 5th, Prince Harry will attend a youth rally and cultural show at the new National Stadium, with over 5,500 invited attendees. His official visit also includes a trip to Eleuthera and a wreath-laying ceremony at the Defence Force base prior to his departure on Monday afternoon. While this is the first visit of the young prince, his family has a long-standing tradition of elaborate and hospitable visits to the Bahamas. In fact, his father, Prince Charles, represented the Queen during the independence celebrations here in 1973. Queen Elizabeth herself has paid 5 visits to the Bahamas, 14 years after becoming Queen. Upon the sudden death of her father, King George VI, Her Majesty and her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, visited the Bahamas for the first time in 1966. The Sports Centre was named in her honour during that visit. 1975 was her first visit to an independent Bahamas. She officially opened the Central Bank of the Bahamas during that visit. 2 years later, in 1977, Her Majesty returned for a 2-day visit as part of her Silver Jubilee celebrations. Possibly one of the most memorable events was the reading of the speech from the throne. This was the first time a reigning British monarch had done so. During that same visit, she officially opened ZNS TV 13. In 1985, Queen Elizabeth was welcomed by Sir Lyndon Pinling here as she joined world leaders like British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, Canadian Prime Minister Brian Mulroney, and Rajiv Gandhi, India's Prime Minister, here in the Bahamas for the 8th meeting of the Commonwealth Heads of Government, known as CHOGM. During the 8-day visit, Her Majesty made her first visit to a family island when she visited Andros. She also officially opened the QE Sports Centre. The last time Her Majesty visited the Bahamas was in March of 1994. On this visit, she met Hubert Ingraham, only the second Prime Minister in an independent Bahamas, only 2 years into his first term. The Queen visited Grand Bahama, where she officially opened the Supreme Court. Several other members of the royal family have paid visits to the Bahamas over the years, including the Queen's husband, Prince Philip, her sons Charles and Andrew, daughter Princess Anne, and her sister, Princess Margaret, back in 1955. Prince Harry's visit will signal the start of a new generation of royal family visits to the Bahamas. For thousands of young Bahamians, it will be their first experience with having a member of the royal family visit. Much like them, the young prince is trying to establish a presence in an evolving world that seems all too eager to abandon many of the loyalties and traditions held so sacred by his grandmother, now celebrating 60 years on the throne. Jerome Sawyer, ZNS News.
The industrial action by line staff at the Water and Sewage Corporation is apparently affecting service to consumers. In a press release from management, it was noted that the corporation is experiencing a reduction in the availability of manpower to provide service. The corporation is apologizing for the inconvenience and delays that have or may occur in the provision of service and assures customers and the general public that all possible avenues will be explored to limit the negative impact or experiences relative to water supply and or sewage services during this time. The corporation is requesting the assistance of the public in sustainable water usage practices and reporting any leaks, sewage challenges, and or other concerns. Customs and immigration officers are reportedly continuing to leave work at 5 p.m. like they did yesterday, abandoning managers, leaving them to man the stations. According to Acting President Sloan Smith of the Bahamas Customs, Immigration and Allied Workers Union, They're working under general orders, which requires them to work from 9 to 5 p.m., including an hour-long lunch break. Smith says in a meeting last weekend with the Prime Minister, they were told that they are no longer governed by the previous industrial agreement signed under the leadership of the Bahamas Public Service Union, but general orders. The Public Managers Union appears to be on some kind of diminished workload as a result of outstanding contract negotiations. The union says this will carry on until all issues at the College of the Bahamas and Bahamas Air are resolved. According to a press statement, the PMU, which represents middle managers at Bahamas Air, the College of the Bahamas, and the National Insurance Board, has been engaged in industrial contract talks for years. While NIB's agreement was reached recently, talks are slow going at COB and Bahamas Air. The major issue for both entities was being called the lack of reasonable financial counterproposals, and in light of this, the PMU has filed trade disputes. The union is appealing to authorities to intervene. Executives of the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, BTVI, are this week promoting healthy living among the student population, faculty, and members of the public. Officials launched a health and wellness fair at the Soldier Road campus this morning. It's part of annual celebrations highlighting BTVI Week. Featuring a range of health products and services, a section of the BTVI was transformed into a health and wellness fair. BTVI manager Dr. Iva Dahl.
Important, and that's why we have the wellness fair, because a lot of people are plagued by disease, which creates another strain on the community with having to go and seek medical assistance. So through healthy living, we could avoid some of those.
Now, this is BTVI's first health and wellness fair. Student Affairs Coordinator Raquel Bethel.
For the past 3 years, we have been really trying to promote a wellness initiative. We want students, faculty, staff, everyone to get involved in just becoming well, not only physically, but to just adopt a wellness lifestyle as a whole. And so this event is just another step in encouraging faculty, staff, and students to be well in order to live well.
Now, this Saturday, BTVI will observe Super Saturday. At that time, they'll hold an open house promoting the institution.
Years on the throne. Jerome Sawyer, ZNS News.
Suffered a net loss in 2011. Nevertheless, the organization says that while challenges in the industry remains, a recent survey revealed that some 32% of tourism properties showed increased hiring of workers. Pharmaceutical companies and pharmacies in the country will have to account for how they do business. The Bahamas Pharmacy Council is launching an investigation into recent international claims that the Bahamas may be importing counterfeit drugs. The communication was issued to the Bahamas government, and the council was notified. Today, Chairman of the Council, Philip Gray, says that local pharmaceutical companies have been up to industry standards and conducting best practices. While Starbucks, the world's biggest coffee house chain, plans to grab a major market share from the Switzerland-based food giant Nestle in the area of instant coffee, the company plans to increase the number of Starbucks stores in Germany to more than 1,000 from 150 stores. Starbucks chief for Europe, Middle East, and Africa, Michelle Gass, said that Starbucks will start with spending some real money on marketing to make Starbucks bigger in Europe. Currently, Nestle dominates the $24 billion global instant coffee business.
Remember, you can send us an email or join us on www.znsbahamas.com or become our friend on ZNS's official Facebook page.